So, you have climbed the ranks and landed that coveted role as a tech lead. You have got the coding chops and you are ready to step up. But suddenly the question dawns on you, do I really know enough to lead? Many of us hold this belief that to be a leader, you must be the most knowledgeable person in the room. And that's a myth. One that's not only daunting, but can lead to some serious blunders if you are not careful. So, buckle up and grab something to take notes, because we have got important information that you will not want to forget. You have been promoted to tech lead. Congratulations! You are smart, you are capable, and you have got this, right? Or so you think. At least until you hit that first meeting where the conversation goes to unfamiliar territories. Your palms sweat, your heartbeat accelerates, and anxiety grows on you. You think, shouldn't I know this? I'm the tech lead after all. Now, let's talk about that anxiety, that nagging feeling that you should know every answer to every question. It's not just you. Many aspiring leaders stumble into this pitfall, thinking that they need to be the Wikipedia of coding or the ultimate troubleshooter. The result? A facade. A carefully constructed image of infallibility that honestly no one can maintain for long. The first repercussion of this facade is the breakdown of trust. When you pretend to know something you don't, people notice. Maybe not immediately, but eventually the cracks start to show. You might provide incorrect solutions, pushing projects down the wrong path. The team's confidence in your leadership is reduced, leading to a whole new set of problems like low morale and decreased productivity. What's worse, the mental toll it takes on you is enormous. The stress of maintaining that facade, coupled with the inevitable imposter syndrome, can be debilitating. But the facade doesn't just impact you or your team. It reverberates through the entire ecosystem of stakeholders. Imagine misleading a client or a senior management due to your inability to admit gaps in your knowledge. The losses aren't just personal, they could be organizational, affecting budgets, timelines, and reputation. So, what's the turning point? When do you decide it's time to hang up the superhero cape? It starts with 3 simple yet liberating words. I don't know. You'll be surprised at how impactful this small admission can be. It does something remarkable to the human psyche, both yours and those around you. First, it alleviates the stress of having to be the know-it-all. Second, it frees you to then say, but I can find out, or let's figure this out together. This not only enhances collective problem solving, but also fosters a culture of learning and growth. Learning to say, I don't know, is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. It shows self-awareness, humility, and a willingness to learn, qualities that are essential for any effective leader. It sets the stage for a more collaborative and empowering form of leadership, one that values the input and expertise of others and doesn't just shun them in a misguided quest for personal glory. The truth is, no one person can know everything, especially in a field as complex and rapidly evolving as technology. What you can know is how to leverage the collective intelligence of your team, how to ask the right questions, and how to guide rather than dictate. As we will see in the next section, not knowing everything can actually be your greatest strength, offering opportunity for growth, innovation, and true leadership. Well, you have begun to shatter the illusion that you need to know it all to be an effective tech lead. Your journey now takes you to discover what truly defines this role. It turns out there is an entire landscape that stretches far beyond the technical terrain. Recall those endless meetings that seem so pointless, the back and forth emails with stakeholders that ate at your coding time, and the strategy sessions that kept you from immediate problem solving. Initially, this felt like a distraction, a divergence from the tech-savvy role you envisioned. But slowly, as you navigate this diverse responsibility, you began to realize they were not mere distractions, but a crucial aspect of leadership. When you first found yourself buried in meetings, you may have felt removed from the action, disconnected from your tech roots. However, these meetings, these conversations, and even the debates hold immense value. They serve as a platform for you to gain a broader perspective, connect with different departments, and understand the business objectives that drive the technology. So yes, being a tech lead means you are in meetings a lot. And it's not a bug, it's a feature. But meetings are only one piece of this complex puzzle. There is a need for strategizing, a word that might not resonate with your coder spirit right away. However, strategy is a coding for the business realm. If code translates human logic into something a machine can understand, strategy translates business goals into actionable tasks for your team. Your role as a tech lead includes bridging the gap between what needs to be done and how it can be achieved technically. This makes you an invaluable liaison between stakeholders and tech teams. Now, let's delve into an intriguing paradox. We have established that you don't have to know everything. Ironically, this lack of omniscience is not a weakness, it's one of your greatest assets. When you drop the burden of needing to know it all, something wonderful happens. You become more open to listening, to taking alternative viewpoints and solutions. You foster a collaborative environment where everyone's expertise contributes to achieving a shared goal. In doing so, you tap into a reservoir of collective intelligence, far more potent than any individual could offer. Furthermore, your admission of not knowing everything creates room for others to step up. It humanizes you, makes you approachable, and sets the stage for open communication. Team members feel more empowered to share the ideas and voice concerns, which in turn cultivates a culture of trust and collective problem solving. So the real role of the tech lead is not confined to technical mastery. It includes the art of communication, the finesse strategy, and the grace of diplomacy, balanced skillfully with technological know-how. As you begin to embody these elements, you are not just a tech lead, you become a leader in the truest sense. And guess what? This form of leadership doesn't just apply to tech. The principles are universal, as you will see when we explore the essential skills every technical lead should have. As you begin to embrace the multidimensional role of a tech lead, you will discover that it's a blend of various competencies. It's much like constructing a bridge. You will need an array of materials, each serving a different function, yet essential for the overall structure. So let's delve into the essential skills that fortify this bridge of leadership. Firstly, consider the importance of explaining complex issues in simple terms. This skill is not about watering down technicality, it's about effective communication. Imagine trying to explain how an API works to a marketing team, or breaking down an architectural complexity for a non-technical stakeholder. Your success depends on translating technical jargon into accessible language. This skill not only helps in internal communications, but also when you are defining product specifications or negotiating contracts. Next, think about the art of asking the right questions. You might recall situations where a project direction pivoted solely based on a question that somebody had the courage to ask. These questions often lead to deeper insights and prevent potential disasters. Asking the right questions, whether it's a brainstorming session or during a core review, can unearth hidden problems, creating clarity and drive innovation. Now on to understanding systemic architecture. You need a comprehensive grasp of how different components interact within a system, not just software components, but also team dynamics and business constraints. This panoramic view allows you to identify bottlenecks, suggest improvements, and make informed decisions that align with both technical capabilities and business objectives. Let's not forget domain expertise. Even though you are not required to know it all, deep knowledge in your specific fields does add credibility. It helps you to navigate through challenges with a level of finesse and anticipate problems before they escalate. You will be equipped to give useful feedback, mentor your team, and set realistic goals. Then comes the skill of conflict resolution and negotiation. Internal debates, different opinions, and even a full-blown conflict are common in any dynamic teams. How you handle these situations can make or break your leadership. Good negotiation skills are not about winning an argument, but about arriving at a mutually beneficial solution. It's a fine dance between being assertive and receptive, knowing when to stand your ground and when to compromise for a greater good. Lastly, organizational skills are essential to juggle the multiple hats you will wear. From setting project timelines to delegating tasks and tracking projects, effective communication is key. This skill goes beyond just planning. It involves executing and adapting this plan as circumstances changes, always keeping an eye on the big picture. In weaving these skills together, you create a tapestry of technical leadership that is vibrant, strong, and textured with nuance. It's a living, evolving form of art that takes time to master. But what if you haven't honed these skills yet? What if you are just stepping into a leadership role? Don't fret, everyone starts somewhere. It's never too late for self-awareness, growth, for setting goals, and embarking on a journey towards continuous improvement. And that's exactly where we are headed next. You have taken stock of the essential skills needed to be an effective tech lead. Perhaps the list is a bit daunting, making you question whether you are cut out for the role. Take a deep breath. No one emerges from the proverbial cocoon as a fully formed leader, equipped with every skill in the book. Let's talk about why it's perfectly okay not to have all these skills from day one. Remember, the road to effective leadership is a journey, not a sprint. It's incremental, built over time through experiences, both good and bad. The key is to start somewhere, anywhere. The real sin will be not to start at all. Pick up a skill, you apply it, you mess it up, and then you learn from it. Each misstep is an opportunity, a small pivot towards the person you aim to be. Now, on to self-awareness and its role in continuous growth. You need to understand your own strengths and weaknesses. That's how you know where to direct your efforts. This self-awareness doesn't come overnight. It often comes from challenging experiences that forces you out of your comfort zone. Maybe it's a failed project, or maybe it's a piece of brutally honest feedback. Regardless of the source, these moments force you to look into the mirror and confront the good, the bad, and the ugly. This introspection forms the cornerstone of your growth, steering you in the right direction. Mentorship, too, plays a pivotal role in your development. Finding a mentor, someone who has walked the path before you, can offer invaluable insights. A mentor can guide you, push you to challenge yourself, and provide feedback that helps you improve. But mentorship is a two-way street. As you grow in your role, you will find that mentoring others enriches your own understanding and helps solidify the skills you have acquired. It's a symbolic relationship, wherein learning and teaching converge to make you a more rounded individual. And what about setting achievable goals and timelines? It's easy to say, I want to improve, but what does that mean? Without specific targets, improvement becomes a nebulous concept, easy to put off for another day. Create a roadmap for your skill development, broken down into achievable steps. Use the SMART criteria: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Each goal should be a stepping stone toward the bigger picture, nudging you closer to the leader you aspire to be. So you don't have to be a paragon of all virtues and skills from the get-go. Everyone starts somewhere, and it's the journey that molds you. Whether you are trying to hone your technical skills, better your communication, or improve your organizational abilities, the path lies ahead, filled with opportunities for you to seize and grow. You have got the foundational knowledge, and now it's time to put it into practice, always striving for a better version of yourself. And in that endeavor, you are not alone. The role of a tech lead is not just about leading, it's about growing, both individually and as part of a team. So let's embark on that next leg of your leadership journey, shall we? In this exploration, you have shattered the myth that being a tech lead is all about technical expertise. Instead, you have discovered that it's a harmonious blend of technical knowledge, emotional intelligence, and organizational skill. Each element adds a unique flavor to the role, making it diverse and dynamic. Being a leader isn't just a destination, it's a continuous journey of adaptation and growth. If you would like to learn about the myth of motivation, you should check this video. Thanks for watching and see you next week.